All right, Dean's up. He says, I'm considering the SEO Switchbox strategy. Not sure how to word this, but the question is, with the RSS syndication strategy, how can posts be made on the cloned site if the site redirects to the client site when visited? Also, if a post is made, the same post won't be on the client site, it'll be on the cloned site. So is that just left normal, part of the cloned site? All right, I'm not going to even finish reading this question, Dean, just because you're a little bit confused about the process. This has been covered multiple times, and this is something that it would probably be difficult to find on our YouTube channel. But there is something that I did want to point this out for people that are new. If you go to our YouTube channel, guys, so for example, if you just go to YouTube and you search, I'm going to just walk you guys through this. And then, Dean, I'll finish answering your question. Excuse me. Why did I just type that into there? If you just go to Semantic Mastery, right, search it. And then just go to the channel. So click on the channel button. And Dean, I know you probably know this, but this is more for the benefit of new people. If you click this little search icon here, guys, and search, because of all the Hump Day Hangouts, and because we actually have a team that splits up our Hump Day Hangouts into individual questions and answers, a lot of the times some of these questions can be answered just by going to search channel. And so you just type in your query here and hit enter, and then you can kind of look through there. And again, Dean, I'm going to answer your question in just a minute. But the other thing is, guys, remember at the support.semanticmastery site, so support.semanticmastery.com, we have a knowledge base. If you click on that, you'll see that we have oh, by the way, Adam, we need to change that, just as a side note. But yeah, our knowledge base, we have categories here that you can go into and look for frequently asked questions, okay? Because that kind of stuff comes up often. Now, Dean's question isn't really a frequently asked question, so I just wanted to point that stuff out, guys, because as people that are new to us might not know this, and this give you a way to find answers to a lot of common questions. All right. All right. So back to Dean. Dean, when
if I may, before you get into answering his question, I think Dean just joined our mastermind, and if he did, then he's more than welcome to post questions, more advanced questions, in the Semantic Mastery Mastermind for webinars, or for us to answer them there. He has more availability to
I know he joined RYS. I didn't know that he joined Mastermind, but that's awesome if he did. Okay. All right. So, Dean, to get back to your question, and I apologize for that. All right. So with the Switchbox SEO strategy, or when you're cloning like a client site, I've mentioned this before, but there's certain things that you're not going to do through your domain. Okay, number one is when you're syndicating content from the client's domain, it's going to be pushed out to the client's branded network, and the backlinks are going to point back to the client's domain. There's really no other way around that. Well, there is one other way around it, which would be to publish the posts on your cloned domain that would go out to their network, and then you'd have to 301 the post URL to the client's post URL, but you'd have to duplicate the post on the client site. So you can see how quickly this gets out of hand. So that's why we don't bother with that. My point is, you can't do the content marketing from your domain, because there's no way, without having to publish the post twice, once on your domain and then once on the client's domain, and then redirect from your domain to the client's your post URL to the client's post URL. And then if the client ever looks at their branded syndication network and they see your domain, that's going to bring up a question, right? And so you can't do that. Remember, the client is paying you for content marketing too, if that's part of your SEO strategy. That is absolutely part of my SEO strategy, right? Content marketing and SEO are one and the same, in my opinion. They go hand in hand. So when I do content marketing, it goes from the client's domain out to the client's network, and there's just no way around that. But that's what they're paying for, so it's not a problem, right? To me, it's not an issue. The other thing is, when you're building citations, when you build citations, you got to build them directly to the client's domain, not to your domain, or else you'll screw up the NAP, right? If you're listing your domain and the name, address, and phone number, the NAP, right? If you put your domain in there, then it's going to screw up the NAP data. So you can't do that either. You got to build citations directly to the client's domain. Does that make sense? So those are two examples or two instances where the Switchbox strategy doesn't work. What I do with the Switchbox strategy, where I clone the site, it's strictly for pages, not for posts, right? So it's the core of the site that gets cloned. And then everything is on a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's a page-by-page redirect to the client's site. And then I do external link building to that page. So you guys know that the majority of the SEO work that I do, or that, we the kind of SEO that we practice is we do mostly the IFTTT networks and in other tier one site links like citations and press releases and things like that. But the majority of external link building that we do, or inbound link building that we do, is to the tier one properties, not directly to the money site. So that's what I'll do with the 301 domain. That's my own domain. Is if I'm going to be doing additional external link building, which we do from time to time when it's needed, then I will do that to my domain that's 301 to the client's domain. And so in the event that the client decides that they don't need me anymore, I can lift the 301 or remove the 301 redirects from my domain. The client still gets to keep much of the SEO work that was done, because all the content marketing is going to benefit their site. All the citation work that you did is going to benefit their site. The only thing that you're going to end up recovering is any external inbound links that you built, right? That's going to be pointed to your domain. When you lift those redirects, it's going to remove them from the client's domain, and they're going to, still be pointed at your domain. So it doesn't mean that when you remove the redirects, your client's domain drops out of the index and yours replaces it. That's not the way it works. Chances are, if you've done everything right, the client's domain may see a little bit of a drop, but they'll probably still be strong anyways because of the content marketing, the citation building, everything else that you've done, right? The client's domain will probably still be strong. However, your domain now has a bunch of SEO work done from any external link building already in place. So you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from a position, a well-placed position already, as far as how much SEO work has been done to your domain. Does that make sense? So it just gives you like a jump start on setting up a new site, because now you have a site that's already had SEO work done. Of course, you're going to have to go in and change some graphics. You probably have to reword the content somewhat, right? Change contact information, stuff like that from the clone site. Can't be a copy of the client site, obviously, when you revive it as your own, if that makes sense. But you can change all that stuff out, swap out some details, and then you can sell that site or lease that site to another provider, another contractor, another business in that same industry, in that same city, right? Or you can keep it as your own and use it as a lead gen site. That's what I do. That's typically what I will do. Is if I, and it's only happened a handful of times in my career, but I've done that where I've ended up turning the cloned site with some editing or some modification into a lead gen site, and that way it's my asset. And that's why I do that, guys, so that as I'm building up clients' assets, I'm at the same time building my own assets with no additional work on my part. Does that make sense?